And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
Hey everybody, I'm Tom Vasel, and today we're taking a look at Star Clicker. This is from the same designer who did Colt Express, and I didn't know much about this game. This is one of those games that came and there wasn't a whole lot of talk about it beforehand, but this is based on a video game. It's a cooperative game for 2 to 4 players in which you are having aliens come in, kind of like a, you know, any of those shoot 'em up, Galaga, Space Invaders, where the aliens are coming in and you're working together to stop them. You do this through 2 main mechanisms. One is programming, the other is memory. Now, I know some of you are going to turn the video off right now, and I don't blame you, because if you don't like both those mechanisms, I doubt you'll like this. I liked it, but let's take a look first, and we'll be right back. In this game, players are working cooperatively against a mothership that's coming in and sending out these little creepers. You'll start with some creepers on the board. And basically, players are all going to take their turns, and in these turns, they're going to be moving their spaceship around the board, uncovering these tiles, which are placed here. So you can see this tile has nothing in it. This tile here also has nothing in it. This tile here is basically it's an alien signal here, and you don't want to be on that at the end of your turn because that helps the aliens out. This is what you're looking for. You're looking to destroy these jammers here, and to do that, you need to land on one and discard an energy. There are 2 of them in each of the different numbers, which are randomly placed out at the beginning of the game. Once you get all 8, players win. So players are going to take their actions, and the way they're going to do that is by using their console. At the beginning of the game, players are going to randomize 3 buttons. It shows you which 3 buttons go in each of the sections, A, B, and C, but you're going to randomize them so you don't know which one is where. On your turn, you press 2 buttons. So I might want to use this button, the blue arrow. So I know it's in this 3 here, but I'm not sure which. So I flip this. Nope, that's a blue shot. So I'm like, all right, for my second action, I'll do this one. That repeats another action. So I've shot at the blue twice, essentially. So then I flip these back over, but next turn, I know where those are. So next turn, if I want to use the blue arrow, I can remember that it's here. And so you can use kind of percentages like the green arrow, the purple arrow. So there are basically 9 buttons, 4 shots, 4 directions, and 1 button that repeats them. These combos are different on each player's board. You can see the yellow combos are different than the blue combos. What they mean is if you get a green arrow, you move 1 towards the green section of the board. If you're over here, you loop back around. You always skip over other players' ships and over creepers, and there are some tiles on the board. Let's see if I can find one. When you land on these, you skip over them too. You kind of warp through them. If it shows a shot, you shoot in that direction. If you shoot another spaceship, they have to lose an energy if they have one. If you shoot the planet, it loses a shield. If you shoot a creeper, you kill it, and you get it, it turns into energy. And again, remember, energy is what you're trying to do. Now, players have a special ability here where they can turn to energy, and they can press any button that they want to. And if you play an advanced version of the game, each player has another way to spend an energy to do some special action that they're going to have. Once all the players have gone, then the bad guys go. And to that, you're going to make a deck of these cartridges here. Calls them floppy disks, but they're definitely Nintendo cartridges. But anyway, you flip over the top one, and if someone is on one of these red satellites here, the first number happens. Otherwise, you skip that, and then you go down through the numbers based on the number of players in the game. If there's only 2 players, you do the top 2, and if there's 4 players, you use all 4. This means the creepers on those numbers are going to come in. So, for example, the first one here says 4. There is no creeper in row 4, so we bring one of these there. If there had been one there, we simply move it 1 space in, and it jumps over spaceships just like the player does. Once it gets all the way into the middle, we discard it, but we also discard one of the shields. If players lose all their shields, the game is over. Now, this mothership exists and has piles of aliens on it, and you'll pull them off one at a time, and as you pull them off, so when you pull the last one off of this pile, then the closest ship to the planet moves. When you pull them off this pile, the 2 closest ships move, and so on. If you pull them off this pile, the game is over. So you can play different levels. There are 4 different levels included in the game. So you can play really, really difficult on this level. And that's it. You need to you need to find these, all 8 of these. Spend 1 energy when you land on one, and when that happens, you've won the game. If you see game over show up here, you've lost, or if you lose all your shields on the planet, you've lost. The rulebook for the game, not too bad. It shows you what all the floppy disk effects do, because not only do they have, you know, the numbers, but they also do something like this says next turn nobody can shoot. You shoot in a pink direction, or sometimes they'll cause you to shuffle all the buttons on console C. Those are really annoying. So these show you what they do there, and the rules are pretty much clear. It's not a very complicated game. At the beginning they have a little comic book here with no language in it, which looks very almost Voltron-ish as these things go out. The consoles are cute. I like these. You have to put them together, and they do fit in the box, barely, but they kind of have this thing here so you can push the button to flip it over. You know, it's not a big deal, but it's fun. I mean, this they put a lot of effort into this. The board itself is okay. You know, these different numbers and things, and there's an X on there. That's fine. I will say that the creepers and the players' ships are really thick cardboard. I haven't seen tiles this thick in a game in a long time. Actually, the last time I think I saw them this thick was like in Nothing Personal, where they had them this thick. But these are really thick, so I like that. Oddly enough, these are thick, but not all of them are. So either way, I think the components are pretty good. So I think this game is fun. It's really interesting. You work together. You can pick the order your ships go in. You are using percentages at the beginning because you don't know. So you'll say, okay, I need to move in this direction. Let's go turn over these tiles, and I want to go to the yellow side. But this group of 3 buttons also might have me shoot you. So you should probably move first just in case. Now, these percentages go up as the game goes by because you remember where your stuff is, even if those cartridges do seem to make you shuffle the buttons at very inopportune times. But it's memory. Now, the memory's not too difficult. You're remembering where 9 buttons are, but you don't need to remember where 9 buttons are. At most, you need to remember where 6 buttons are, because process elimination, you know where the other 3 are. And even I would just remember the purple buttons are here, so then the other 2 are one of these 2. So there's that. And again, I can see some people not liking that. I enjoyed it. I also like the physical action of pressing the buttons and flipping them over. That was fun. Now, the other aspect of this game is there's a, you know, that you don't know how the robots are going to move. I call them robots, but they're creepers. You don't know how the creepers are going to be. You don't know where they're going to move to. There's a good chunk of randomness in how they move and what things are going to come out. And at the beginning of the game, it almost feels like you're flying around a little randomly. But the biggest randomness is finding those tiles. You're looking for 8 specific tiles. You know there's 2 in each section, but sometimes it's the last tile in that section you fly over. That's just the way it is. And yes, it gets a little better if you play with the one character as a special ability where they can turn a tile over. Spend some energy to turn a tile over. Great. Turn that tile over. Do I need to fly that way or this way? But the biggest thing about this game is it's a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. We work together. It's unique. It's interesting. You push buttons. But I think one play is enough. And that's not a great thing for a game, right? So this is a game that I had fun playing. But if you asked me to play it, I'd be like, I've seen it. I've done it. I don't have the desire to do more of it because it would play out the same way each time. And that's how it feels. That's how it felt. And I don't want a game. I want games that offer some depth. Now, yes, where the tiles are going to be are different each time. You can play progressively harder levels. But it doesn't offer, I think, the deepness that other cooperative games, like, let's pick a simple cooperative game, Forbidden Island, Forbidden Desert. They kind of do the same thing, but because of the different directions and the special powers everyone has, for some reason, those combinations make each game interesting. And even those I'm not going to want to play over and over and over again. But this one's even less than that. And while it's fun and you bring this out and you have a good time, I don't know that there's any real long-term replayability. It's kind of working off a gimmick. Then you couple that with the fact that I know there's a lot of people who are not going to like the memory and the basically like, I'm going to move, but I'm not sure which direction that this game has. And that coupled with the luck is probably going to chase a few more people off. However, I know there's some people out there who are looking at this and thinking, that looks really fun. And for those of you who like that, then this is one worth checking out. For me, I had fun. But I'm also kind of done now and moving on to the next game, because this one I don't think holds my attention, that I would not keep it in my collection, and I want a game that offers me more than that. I don't want to buy games that are just one play per se, and that's what this one feels like. So that's Star Clicker. I'm Tom Vasel. We'll see you next time. Dice Tower Judgment. It's fun once.